Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some more positive news recently released regarding Tesla stock. And so one of the main topics of this video is going to be all about Tasha Keeney from ARK Invest and her sharing some of her perspectives on Tesla stock on the TD Ameritrade network. And the host also asked her some questions about the Q3 earnings report, which as we know is tomorrow. Technically it's today. I think it's like 1 a.m. right now. So it's on October 21st. So I'm really excited about that as well. But basically anytime that I see a team member or analyst from ARK Invest saying something about Tesla, I think it's always important to pay attention to what they have to say, because in terms of analyzing Tesla stock, I think the team over at ARK Invest do the best job out of any other analyst, and I think they have a solid grip on a great perspective and understanding of Tesla as a company, and they realize all of the different facets of innovation and different areas that Tesla is trying to disrupt in the industry. So we have the autonomy side, we have just the vehicles themselves, we have the energy business. So there's a lot of information to talk about with today's video regarding Tasha Keeney talking on the TD Ameritrade network. So we'll get into that in just a second. Keep in mind, I'm not going to be able to show the video itself just for copyright reasons, but I will leave it linked down in the description below, and I'll also be talking about just some of the major key points and some of my insights and interpretation from the video as well. So as always, of course, if you enjoy the Tesla videos, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. And also, just to address the current share price as well, before we get into this new market day, we have a share price of $424.24. And in the normal market hours today, we had a minus 2.06% drop, which is minus $8.89. And then in the after hours, we are currently at plus 0.55% or plus $2.30. So now that we've addressed this, I just want to quickly cover a recent tweet by Elon Musk as well, in which he is talking about availability for the FSD beta. So that's some important information as well. But after that, we'll get right into the news about ARK Invest and Tesla. So anyways, let's just go ahead and check out this tweet, and then I'll continue on afterwards. We recently got a tweet by Elon Musk around 6 hours ago at 6:19 p.m. on October 20th, and this says, FSD beta rollout happening tonight. Will be extremely slow and cautious, as it should. So this is pretty huge, because this FSD beta is the one that Elon Musk himself has been using to drive to and from work. He's basically stated that he can go to and from work with pretty much no interventions. So this is supposed to be a huge change with the FSD technology, and this is supposed to be a game changer update. So I'm definitely excited to see this beta roll out to more people in the future, but I'm also just looking forward to the testing that's happening right now and what kind of insights that we get from that, and if people end up being really impressed with this beta compared to previous versions. So I'm really excited about this, and also it does play kind of a role in what we're talking about today as well with Tasha Keeney from ARK Invest, because we do go a little bit into the topic of autonomy with that discussion as well. So it's all pretty interrelated, but this is pretty exciting, and I just wanted to throw this up here for the news video, since it is a tweet from the CEO himself, and this is going to be a game changer in the future as autonomy continues to improve. But anyways, just moving on to the part that a lot of you have likely all been waiting for, we have a recent video by TD Ameritrade Network in which it shows the host talking with Tasha Keeney from ARK Invest, and this is all about the Q3 earnings report, and also just her sharing some of her current perspective with Tesla stock and what her team is thinking. So as I stated, I won't be able to include the actual video clips, so I'll leave it linked down in the description for you all to check out for yourself. Regardless of how much I cover this actual video, I recommend for you to check it out for yourself. Now with that, I want to talk about some of the insight that I gained from that video. So as I stated, a lot of the questions do involve the Q3 earnings report, and it seems like with this interview there was a big focus on the short term, at least from the person asking the questions, and Tasha Keeney kind of seemed to be on a different level than the person asking the questions. As we know, the team over at ARK Invest are much more focused on the long-term perspective rather than, you know, what's this quarter going to look like, what's the next quarter going to look like, and things like that. So Tasha Keeney was actually asked a lot of questions involving the short term, and as we know, her specialty is in the long term. So I have to admit myself, with me being a long-term investor as well, I was really hoping that there would be more questions about just her general perspective and more of a long-term perspective on Tesla. So with that, we basically just have to appreciate the information that we did get about the long term, and still we did get some short-term insight as well, but really, like I said, their specialty is in the long term, and that's what I'm more focused on, because honestly, whatever happens for Tesla over this next couple of quarters, yes, obviously that matters, but in terms of the big picture, I think really thinking many years into the future is really what makes a big difference in purchasing decisions regarding this stock right now. So one major thing that I did hear from Tasha Keeney in this interview was that the team at ARK Invest believe autonomy is not only much bigger than the auto industry, but also even Tesla's opportunity with the energy industry as well. They think that if Tesla takes over the autonomy business and they're first to master it, that it could be even bigger than Tesla's energy business and their vehicle business itself. And so I just want to emphasize though, with that, she did state that the opportunity with autonomy for Tesla is larger than today's energy sector. So the finer details with that matter, of course, it's in comparison to today's energy sector. But with that, the point still remains in the sense that there's such a huge opportunity with autonomy. So if Tesla is able to master that technology first, which I expect them to, then it's going to be an absolute game changer. And that's why ARK Invest's bull case for Tesla relies a lot on autonomy, because as she states in this video, the market covering autonomy will be huge. So if Tesla is able to capitalize on this market first and be the first in line for this, then it's going to be a game changer. So even the piece of information about how autonomy is even bigger than today's energy sector, that's kind of a mind-blowing fact right there. And I think that adds a little bit more perspective that I thought was pretty interesting. And another thing that she mentions in the interview, and I really love the way that she said this, she talked about Tesla creating their own ride-hailing service. And as many of you all know, ARK Invest and Tasha Keeney and Kathy Wood are big fans of the idea of Tesla starting even a manual human driver ride-hailing service prior to the robotaxi service, because one of their main reasons for this is because they would be utilizing their own vehicles, so it's pretty cost effective given the fact that they get the cheapest Teslas ever since they make them. So it would be cost effective in that sense. And then you would also have the Tesla effect as well, where if you have a customer that just needs to get to some place and they've never been in a Tesla before, they might end up deciding that they love Tesla and that they want to buy a vehicle themselves. So there's the Tesla effect. And then there's also, as Tasha Keeney states in this video, that basically these cars used for the ride-hailing service would pretty much be Tesla R&D centers for data and information. And so in this video, she really drills that point in, talking about how these vehicles are basically Tesla's R&D centers to gather data to train the neural net for that full self-driving technology. And so this is something that we already see across the board with anyone that drives a Tesla, but especially if Tesla were to create its own ride-hailing service, this would just contribute so much more to the data, because even if we think about those people that own Teslas, they're probably only using that Tesla, let's say 10% a day, just to estimate. Obviously, I don't know if that's accurate or not, but still, they're probably only using it around 10% per day. Whereas you think about vehicles provided by Tesla themselves and then drivers just switching out on different shifts, and that vehicle running basically 24 hours per day, and Tesla has thousands and thousands of cars as part of that ride-hailing service, at least in the early stages, then just think about how much more data that would contribute to Tesla, while also giving them some profits as well. So not only is this an opportunity for revenue, but also really crucial data that could make them billions in the future just based off of the autonomy business. So that's pretty huge. And I love the fact that Tasha Keeney continues to nail in this point and makes that comparison of talking about Tesla vehicles as part of the ride-hailing service as pretty much R&D centers for Tesla, which is honestly the truth, because data is so crucial right now for machine learning and for developing this full self-driving technology. So that would be absolutely crucial for Tesla. And so basically those are some of the major points of that video. And another thing that she mentioned at the end of the video that I thought was pretty important was the reference of autonomy and the autonomy component of Tesla, in which she stated that she thinks a lot of analysts aren't taking autonomy into consideration when they make their price targets. And a big piece of information that she drops along with that is that in reference to just the autonomy component, that they think it is worth $2 trillion in the equity markets today. So we got a bunch of huge insight and important information mentioned in this video. And like I said, the host asked a lot of questions regarding the short term, but I love the fact that Tasha Keeney and ARK Invest are really focused on the big picture, which is the long term. And so I kind of compare that to like focusing on the concept that matters, the basic concept, which is what is Tesla trying to accomplish and what are they likely going to accomplish over these next couple of years as this technology develops with autonomy and as the battery continues to improve as well. And that just reminded me, I almost forgot to mention this, she also discussed how the prices of batteries would be dropping by over 50%, in which she discussed that as being a huge thing for the future of Tesla. But like I said, there were a lot of questions asked about the short term and about, this quarter or next quarter, but that's about as far far out as it went in terms of the questions being asked to Tasha, which I think is pretty unfortunate because, like I said, their specialty is long-term, and I think they have a lot of great things to say and really interesting insight if only those questions would have been more focused on the long-term. But I understand why the focus was on the short-term with that interview, since there's just a lot of excitement about the Q3 earnings report. But even with that in consideration, this was still a great interview. Like I said at the beginning of this video, anytime that Cathie Wood or Tasha Keeney or any analyst from ARK Invest has something to say, I'm always paying attention, and I think it would be a great idea if you're a Tesla investor for you to listen to what they have to say as well. Obviously, that's just my personal opinion, but anyways, please make sure to smash that like button if you all enjoyed this video, and also feel free to check out Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link, you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600, and to get that, all you have to do is sign up with my referral link and deposit $100 into your account. Keep in mind, you can take that $100 right back out after you get your free stocks, so it's basically just nice passive income with minimal effort, and it also helps support the channel as well, in which I'll get some free stocks. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.